Hey guys, how you going? Welcome to episode 3 of the Giro d'Italia vlog. Couple of points of analysis I want to talk to you guys about today. Obviously selections for tonight's stage, and then just a little bit around betting strategy, stake limits, that type of thing as well, to make sure you guys have a healthy betting experience, but obviously don't ruin your bank account too early. So yesterday's stage 3, no bet yesterday. It was very little value in the two sprinters. It was guaranteed to be a sprint stage. Sole breakaway rider was up the road. He was reeled in with kind of 40-ish K to go, I think, and I didn't stay up and watch it certainly. And yeah, bunch kick. Obviously Viviani got relegated. I've watched the highlights a couple of times. I think that it was the right decision. He deviated from his line quite significantly. Could have caused an accident, quite a big accident potentially as well. So I think, obviously, in my opinion, that was the right decision. A couple of talking points or pieces of analysis I wanted to talk about. So I don't know if anyone watched on stage 2 in the evening on Eurosport here in Australia, but there was an interview with Tao Geoghegan Hart. Great interview. Really, he can speak well, so really quite came across quite authentic. But the kind of tactics that Ineos are looking to deploy, I think it's going to be interesting. They'll be looking to infiltrate a couple of the breakaways in the later stages of the race, kind of to second week onwards, I think. And look, there's even potentially a chance for them to be going after this stage tonight, but it might be a bit too early. But anyway, we'll talk about that in a moment. But look, I think there's opportunity for those guys. They're going to be quite aggressive. They're not riding for GC really. Certainly not going to be working on the front by any stretch of the imagination. So I think there's going to be plenty of opportunity for those guys to try and snag some stage wins. So if you go back and watch my earlier video at the start of this when we talked about the breakaway stages in the third week, I think they'll definitely be in the mix for that. Lead out trains from stage 2. So quick steps lead out, not fantastic. Viviani got lost, had to do it on his own, chose the wrong wheel, was following Gaviria. Gaviria said he'd been sick, probably not the right wheel to choose. Lotto's lead out for Caleb Ewan was fantastic. He probably let them down. They didn't really, he didn't finish as well as what they probably would have hoped, but still, third place is not too bad for him on a really flat stage. I think he'll be better on a more uphill stage. And but Bora's lead out was very strong as well. They committed all of their riders to the lead out for Ackermann, including Formolo and Micah. And look, I don't think he'll get that again once we start to move towards getting more towards the mountain stages. Formolo and Micah are both going for high GC positions for this race, and I don't think you're going to see them commit that many riders this time round to the lead out. All right, stage 4 this evening. Interesting one. I've had this marked as a stage for the punchers since the stages were released, basically. I think looking at it from the 2 kilometre mark, it's a 4.4% average. Downhill run into that, and then at the 2k mark it really starts going up. The first 500 metres, 5.6 kilometres, then it's about 3.3, and then it's kind of 4% all the way to the line, give or take. I think the sprinters will be, and look, it's quite lumpy in the running to that as well. So I think, like, I'm saying that you're not going to have, basically I'm calling that I don't think you're going to have Viviani, Ackermann or Gaviria contesting this sprint. I think it's going to be too hard. I think Caleb Ewan could potentially be in the mix, and maybe Demar, but I think you're going to see punchers take out this stage. Now this, I think, is also potentially a stage that Roglic could win, and the main man that I had marked for this stage was Diego Ulissi. I think he has been in some good form. He came third a couple of weeks back in Romandy, I think it was. He always peaks for the Giro, so I'm confident that he will be there or thereabouts for the stage. So I'm having 2 points on both of those, on Roglic and Ulissi for the stage win. Now, there's a couple of other riders who I think could be up to the stage with really big odds. So Fausto Masnada, he mixed it up with Team Ineos in the Alps really, really effectively. He won a stage there. He's been priced up at 100 to 1. I wouldn't be afraid of putting on, half a point on him, maybe, if you were interested in backing something at longer odds. And the other rider I've had a go at longer odds is Sivakov, who's basically he's priced at 600 to 1. Look, I don't think he'll win the stage, but you never know. Ineos are going to be quite aggressive, I think, in this race. So look, we'll see. But the main bets, the ones that the two main bets that I'm going for are Roglic and Ulissi to win the stage. 2 points on each. Price up roughly $10 each at various bookmakers in Australia. Alright, final piece I want to talk to you about today is betting strategy and staking limits. So you would have heard me talk a little bit about points and being allocated to certain bets. The reason why I don't talk dollar limits is because everybody's betting with slightly different amounts of money, obviously. My view is that sprint stages like yesterday, unless there's value to be had, it's probably worth avoiding to a certain extent. At $3 for Viviani yesterday, you're not looking at a healthy return off a 2 point investment. And as we saw with the disqualification, potentially ending up with not very much there. Even Gaviria was priced at kind of $5 or $6. There wasn't a lot of value there. So even if you might have selected him for the stage, again, you would have got lucky, but as I said, not much return for the money invested. I am focused on not going crazy over all of these stages. We've got some long haul bets, obviously some overall bets that we're hoping are going to pay off, but we want to really limit our exposure as much as possible to where we see potential value. So we're not going to go nuts on these stages. I even feel like offering up 4 points today is probably a little bit over the top, but I think there's some opportunity there for the stage tonight, so I'm willing to have a go. But so that's what it's going to be about for us. It's we're going to keep our exposure relatively light. We're going to keep our stake limits at exactly the same amount. So a point or 2 points, not really going much beyond that, unless I feel really, really confident about something. That way we can kind of make sure that we're keeping on top of our betting limits. We're not going to break the bank, and even if we go for a downswing of losing a couple of stages on the bounce, if we hit, we're going to be looking for winners over the $10 mark. When we do hit those winners, we're going to be netting a healthy return, which is important to obviously showing profitability. So that's what we're doing around betting stakes. So you're not going to see me going nuts with 10 or 20 or 30 point investments here. We're going to be keeping it sane on the betting front. Any questions or comments, obviously don't hesitate to put them in the box below. Hit like, subscribe. If you think there's anything I can do better in these videos, please do let me know. Any questions at all, anything like that, you know what to do. Talk soon, enjoy the stage tonight guys, and I'll talk to you again tomorrow.